Dear Santa, lose some weight and get a real job.
So a lot of people were mentioning Asmongold, and I kind of gave my reasons as to why I didn't cover him. But this is a pretty chill video, so what the heck. So here's what I've been cooking up. He looks like fucking mangy mutt. Why am I talking about yokai watching? Oh no, it's that slop guy. What the fuck? Joking aside, I'm really grateful for all the support. A lot has happened for me in the last 2 months. Like, I've kind of been going on this downward spiral. That last video popped off. I did my first commission. I fixed my headphones.
I took way too long on this video.
But this video is kind of just an addendum to that video. It took me like 6 months to make. Oh my god. So this video is just full of some extra thoughts that I didn't put in the original, along with some new information.
Now that Twinkie's out of the way, you're coming to my party Saturday, right?
So here's the biggest missed opportunity of that video. Why didn't I redraw my old artwork? I'm surprised nobody actually called me out on this. I'm kind of wondering what else I could get away with. Like, why was I just trying to feed my cannibalism fetish?
Discovered this fantasy is called Vor.
So I went with the name Enki, since that's also a Fungarian. He's this gross little wizard that eats bugs. I don't know, I guess also dismemberment is like a central game mechanic. But honestly, his design was the easiest and the closest to the source material. He benefits the most from stylization. I'm able to get him super straight. Quick Darcy update. She actually went through her final molt the other day and now she's got these big old wings. Which, they don't do that much.
But no one else is weirded out by this? That was just Cuber.
I chose the name Marcy, suggested by Amel888, which I think is supposed to be like Marceline from Adventure Time. I haven't watched the show, but she seems pretty cool. She has the same voice as Vanessa.
She's 16!
I'm trying to be unbiased here, but this is probably my favorite design overall. And I just really love drawing her. I think I'm gonna use her as my rant Sona. She was originally supposed to have a more gender ambiguous design, because that's how VTubers work, but it just really wasn't working for me. I guess she did retain some juvenile traits like a short round face and her twin tails that make no sense. I kind of realized most of my designs have a sense of underlying immaturity with them. So it probably says more about me than anything.
I would even argue Mario had at least the tiniest bit of seriousness to his character in the past, and now he's just full-blown soy boy.
I chose the name Willard because everybody was talking about free will in the comments. Like, what is up with this? It's also a Will Wood song. That evil rat man that put Nostalgia Critic in one of his songs.
Social media is
So he was the first one that I finished, so his ref sheet kind of looks off style. And then he got hit the hardest by the awoobification. His legs were supposed to be a one-off joke, but they've grown on me. It plays into his whole facade hiding his little puppy face. By the way, does he have black sclera, or are those his giant dilated pupils? Okay, I just realized that spiny flower mantis's scientific name is Wahlberg. Honestly, this is the worst part of the video. I feel like the association was super forced. I was kind of just grasping at straws. I mostly just didn't want to ship him with some rando. I have some vague moral code. I just like the mantis, I'm sorry. I wanted her to work as a standalone design and not just a gender swapped Enki. Like, check out my gender swap. They basically have the same body type. But at the same time, it made her really girly, so I think I'm a hypocrite. I've also been able to observe a Mark Wahlberg, and this guy is just super aggressive. The second I drop a roach in, he immediately snatches it. As opposed to ghosts who are pretty chill, and they're actually less cannibalistic. So congratulations you two, you got another personality trait. I forgot to tell you her name is Queenie. I got it from this comment. I'm tired. And I thought it kind of fit because she's girly pop. I guess her horns kind of look like the points on a crown. I don't know what to put here, so I'm just gonna reuse the granny thing.
Crap, that's the wrong song.
Don't get me wrong, I still like her, but I kind of feel like she's the weakest design of the batch. Like I have a hard time drawing her face consistently, and I should have figured a way to stylize her more. She's pretty hard carried by her physique. I think I should make her even more buff. I was mostly thinking of Noi from Dorohedoro, which, by the way, I was never really into waifu culture until like this thing showed up on screen. For the name Snail, I was just looking at this spiral motif I gave her for some reason. That's mostly where it's from. I was kind of just thinking of like a silly animal, which I think is warranted because she does have the silliest like justification. It's messed up how his ancestors set him up for that. Dog. And now that I look at her again, she kind of reminds me of Doggy Kruger and his big ass feet.
I was never really into waifu culture until this thing showed up on screen.
So I got this comment that actually brings up a very interesting point, since there is evidence of me tracing. So, yo dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. So I'm gonna be drawing IRL. There's gonna be a lot of weird cuts in this because like I'm so bad at talking. You know, I was gonna try to do a time lapse in Blender, but you know, I just get way too nervous and I just can't draw. I just don't sketch in Blender. That's really just why. Sorry if the angle's a bit weird. You know, this is a pretty last minute decision. I got a new piece of paper. See, look at that. The budget's going up. I've only been really taking art seriously over the last year or so I still consider myself a beginner. So this is pretty much some of my first attempts at character design. So as a little treat, I'll be drawing my first OC, Shale Burger. So after I made this, I started taking art a bit more seriously and actually looking up tutorials, mostly studying anatomy. But one part I would always mess up is the neck. But even then, I still wanted to make something. Oh my god. Oh my. And then I changed my brain chemistry forever. Thanks, Shale Burger. Okay, in my defense, I was a bit intoxicated. You know, I should probably make a habit of that so I can make more of these. That's kind of why I always draw her like chilling with a beer. I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I can fix it later. Alright, did I beat the fraud allegations? Ooh, wait. Ooh, she's gonna get ya. Okay, I'm gonna go to Taco Bell or something. I'm so hungry. Bro, look at my fucking setup. What is this? Now we're in Blender doing an actual time lapse. So in Blender, there's this modifier called build. It'll take all your finished lines and animate into the final drawing. So it's not really a time lapse, but more like a tool-assisted speedrun with predetermined inputs. I did this because I already made the drawings before I even thought about doing time lapses, and I do get that it looks a bit dubious at times, since there was that one person that got exposed for tracing AI shit. But I swear the color wheel does appear and it is green, okay? You just gotta trust me. So, do I trace? Short answer, yeah. Long answer? And while copying and even tracing has its place within like practice, I really don't see the point in trying to pass it off as your own. Maybe I'm just not like complacent enough for that. Like you could have just practiced. As for the future of these characters, I'm not really sure. I don't think I'm gonna do anything like major with any of them. They'll probably just be little mascots or Easter eggs, I guess. I'll also be posting on Kara, you know, just to centralize a bunch of my art, because like it's just a mess. I'd also want to like post more frequently, because like you can't just disappear for like a couple months. Like people think you're dead, and like I literally finished some of these drawings like the day after I posted that original video, and I've just been sitting on them for way too long. But at the same time, I want to have them like as a surprise in the video, because that'd be awesome. Like I genuinely thought I could get this done in like 2 weeks, but it's like quadrupled from that. You know, I just want to make stuff that's meaningful to me. That's my target audience after all. You know, that's why I made that reaction video.
Hey, you wanna see me take off my coat, you pervs?
Oh yeah, you bet I do. And speaking of reactors, why didn't I talk about X? So my choices were based on like personal experiences or interesting phenomenons or a creative exercise. So maybe I'm just uncreative, but most of these daily uploaders are just so uninteresting. I'd be regurgitating the same thing over and over. And I'm just saying, once these guys turn off the camera, they just stare at the wall until Hassan farts or something. So my victims will need an interesting topic attached to them. Unless you want another almond segment, and you know, I don't think anybody wants that. So I'd rather make one about different, I guess, genres of YouTubers. Like, I've already chosen my next victims, so you'll just have to wait another 6 months. I'd probably also focus on giving them more personalities or actual lore, because that's like half of the fun of making characters. With that being said, I didn't really think of the political implications of my furry art video. The most interesting assumption was that I was going for like a South Park defense. You know, just because somebody can criticize both sides of, well, really any argument, doesn't necessarily mean they're neutral. This is the thing a lot of those channels use so that they're more digestible. And then they'll say like the craziest thing ever. It's a real lack of honesty and integrity, and I'll stand first before casting the first stone. So I'll share my beliefs. I know it's something a lot of you have been dying to hear about. You know, maybe I can grift a little bit. So what am I? You still don't get what side I'm on, do you? Do I really have to spell it out for you? We're everywhere. Throughout history. In the government. In the churches. In our books. In our movies. Every piece of media. You really think you got me? That I'm just some crony that's following orders? What a joke. I draw hot furry ass because I like it. And I love it! Woo! And I'm itching to do it again! Feet, Queenie Ball, N-Cube, Wonder Bread,
Marcy.exe,
Yowie, MLP Clopping, Sapphic Polycule, Mpreg, Amputee, 4, How to Make Turks, the most replayed part of this video.
Okay, that one's not even a joke. That's just cropped porn.
Education, you to play with them both. 5-way orgy baby. Oh yes, I can see it now. Every house will have a Willard plush. Every bathroom in America will have an Engie toothbrush. A snail couch. Queenie Mouse. Marcy flavored candy. T-shirts, socks, shoes. I even started making acrylic standees. Is this the future you wanted? Is this the future you're getting? Oh my god, there was like a loud banging during my recording and like the table fucking blew away. What the heck?